The plan is simple. Starting tomorrow, me and my brother are going down the West Coast, stopping at all major cities along the way. In those cities, we're going to spend one whole day using food delivery apps to make as much money as possible. And the next day, we're going to explore those cities, only using the money we made from the day of driving and documenting everything along the way. Can't spend more, can't spend less. By the end, seeing if we can't reimagine the way people can travel. Make sure to like and follow to join us on this journey. So I'm spending 2 days in each major city on the West Coast, one day earning as much money as I can from food delivery apps, and the next day spending that money to see what I can experience around the city. This is going to be our first day in Seattle, and we ended up picking the Bellevue, Kirkland, Redmond area, thinking it was probably better to stay outside the city when delivering, and I think we made a good decision. The restaurants were easy to find, and honestly, we had a lot more fun than we thought we would have during the driving day. You get to experience the city in a whole new light, and you're basically getting paid to tour it. I ended up making $123, which, like I said, is going to go towards tomorrow's activities. And yeah, that's it for day one. It's time to see what Seattle has to offer. I'm currently doing my West Coast Challenge, and this is part 2 of my Seattle series where I'm going to be spending that $123 I made from driving yesterday. The first stop on the list was to go to Starbucks Reserve. I've always wanted to go there. They have their own unique food, own unique drinks, and even coffee cocktails if you're into that kind of thing. We just got something small and it was kind of expensive, but honestly, it was probably the best coffee that I've ever had. After Starbucks, we had to take in some views before we went to Pike Place Market. Right when we got there, we had to get a crab roll and some world famous chowder. It was bomb. I highly suggest it. I'm a huge fan of seafood, and that's kind of why I turned the Seattle trip into a food tour. After that, we had to pick up some more pastries and coffee to keep us going through the day. Then after that, we got a cream cheese salmon bagel to really round out that seafood experience that I was looking for. All in all, Seattle was freaking awesome. From experiencing the city yesterday when I was driving around to going to places like Dick's Drive-In, a local place with a great burger, but now it's on the Portland. Day 3 of using food delivery apps in all major cities on the West Coast and using the money I made to experience the city I earned it in. I'm currently in Portland, so I'm in my own stomping grounds right now. This is a lot more of what I'm used to. I did end up going downtown a couple times, which was nice because in Seattle we were pretty much stuck in the suburbs. We were pretty much all over the city, so I would say it was a solid tour, though Portland is small, so it's easier to do. This is day 1 in Portland, so the whole day was dedicated to driving, making as much money as possible so we can spend it all tomorrow. And the cool thing is we ended up making $151, so even more money for activities than we even had in Seattle. And if you want to see what those activities are, make sure to like and follow to stay up to date. I'm in the middle of my West Coast Challenge, and today is going to be the day that we explore Portland. We've got $153 to work with, and the first thing we got to get is TriMet tickets, which leads you to most places like Voodoo Donuts. We had to stop here. It's a Portland staple, and it's probably one of the things you already know about Portland. If you do end up going, get the maple bacon donut. It's an absolute banger. Because we are in Portland, we had to stop at a food truck, and Bao Bao was one of the best ones out there. Now, Portland is known for rain, but the summers are absolutely beautiful, so we had to take advantage of it and go to the Oregon Zoo, which I've been there before as a kid, but it's always fun to go back. For some reason, all the animals were photogenic. They were cuddling, they're running around. It was definitely worth the trip. But since we were out in the sun all day, we needed to end with a good meal. So to do that, we stopped at 10 Barrel Brewing. Got a flight of beers, got some burgers. It was a great way to end our trip in Portland. But now it's on to California. We got a long road trip ahead. So make sure to like and follow to stay up to date. The plan is simple. I'm driving down the West Coast, stopping at every major city, and spending one day driving food delivery apps to make money, and using the money I made that first day to experience a city the next day. This is a road trip day, so we're on our way to San Francisco. And for all you road trip people out there, the drive is not bad. There's plenty of scenic places to stop. When you go down I-5, you drive right past Shasta, so even though the drive was like 9 hours long, it wasn't too bad. We stopped in Redding to get some snacks, and then from there we drove straight to San Francisco, and we caught a good glimpse of it before we started driving tomorrow. So it was a little tease. But yeah, this is our home for the next few days. Tomorrow, we start driving. So I'm currently doing my West Coast challenge, and this is our first day in San Francisco. We decided to go a little further south and drive in the Palo Alto area. That way we didn't go too far north into San Francisco and deal with traffic, high-rise buildings, things like that. All in all, it was a decent area. The tips were good. We ended up making about $10 per order, which was on par with Portland and more than Seattle. I cannot stress enough how cool it is to drive in these different cities. It's almost like you're getting paid to tour the city that you wouldn't normally see. Now, at the end of the day, we did end up making $125. So that means we got all of that to spend tomorrow. And if you want to see what we spend it on, make sure to like and follow to stay up to date. I'm in the middle of my West Coast challenge, and today is the day we're going to be exploring San Francisco. First off, we had to get breakfast at La Taqueria. We got to start off our day right, and I heard that San Francisco is known for their Mission-style burritos, and honestly, it was pretty bomb. Now, you can't visit San Francisco without going down Lombard Street. You've all seen it. I'm not showing anything new here, but it was a trip to go down, and it's something you gotta do. Now, I'm a huge fan of Anthony Bourdain, so I had to get a burger at one of his favorite burger joints in town before going to Little Italy and getting Golden Boy pizza and a couple of beers. Now, we wanted to do some more sightseeing, so we went down Lion Street steps, mainly because my last name's Lion and I felt a weird connection, but that brought us down to the Palace of the Arts, which looked like it came straight from Europe, and it was a nice peaceful walk that led us straight to a view of the Golden Gate Bridge. It was a great day, one of the best so far, but now it's on to LA, which means we got a 5-hour drive, so make sure to like and follow to stay up to date. So I'm spending 2 days in each major city on the West Coast, one day earning as much money as possible from food delivery apps, and the next day spending that money to see what I can experience around the city. Now we're on our way to LA from San Francisco, and I got a late start. Some news outlets reached out to me, so I did a few interviews, which means I didn't have enough time to do as much driving as I wanted to today, but that's the cool thing about what we're doing. We decided we're gonna spend some more time in LA, at least another day. That way I can do some more driving tomorrow, experience the city tomorrow, and then on the last day, it will just be like how it was in Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco. And I'm totally okay with that because LA has so much to offer. We did make $70, but let's see if we can't do better tomorrow. I'm currently doing my West Coast challenge, and this is part 2 of my LA series, where I'm going to be spending that $70 I made yesterday while also earning a little bit more tonight for stuff to do tomorrow. First off, we went to Corner Cottage. It was recommended by one of you guys. I think it was the best breakfast burrito that I've ever had. Next on the list, I had to stop at the Kogi food truck owned by Roy Choi. I've seen it on TV many times, and I gotta tell you, it didn't disappoint. After that, we drove to Santa Monica to Bay City's Italian Bakery and Deli. We got a couple of Godmother sandwiches, and my God, were they worth the wait. And it was only a few blocks away from the beach, which made it even better. Now, because yesterday was a short day for driving, I decided to go out, do a little bit more this evening, which I'm glad I did because I made another $65, meaning now tomorrow we have $83 left to spend. If you have any more recommendations, let me know in the comments, and make sure to like and follow to stay up to date. I'm doing my West Coast challenge where I'm driving to all these cities, spending one day using food delivery apps to make money, and the next day experiencing the city. This is part 3 of LA, and we wanted to go a little bit lighter on food because we've been eating so much. So the first thing we did, we got an acai bowl, make us feel real fresh and healthy for the day, and then headed over to the Griffith Observatory. That way we could take in some legendary views of the city of LA. Plus, it's the first time we saw the Hollywood sign since we've been here. Now after that, we went to Sunset Boulevard. We got a couple of drinks, just kind of relaxed and enjoyed the good weather and the good vibes. Before we left LA, we had to check out the urban light. Got some Instagram pictures because that's the thing to do to round out our trip of Los Angeles. LA has been amazing. This is one of my favorite cities, and if you ever want to make the trip, check out the places I went. But yeah, that's it for LA. Now it's on to San Diego, the last stop on the trip. So I'm doing a challenge where I'm going down the West Coast, stopping at each and every major city, spending one whole day driving food delivery apps to make as much money as possible, and then spending another day there using the money I made from food delivery apps to experience that city. We're coming near the end of our journey, and we just got into San Diego. We spent the day driving around as we do. The weather was perfect, the people are super chill here, and I was making like $30 an hour. So it's a great city to do food delivery. But most importantly, this is my last driving day for this challenge, and I'm just kind of reflecting on all the experiences I had and how great it was to see these cities in a totally different way than going to the usual landmarks, food spots, and stuff you'd normally do on a vacation. So this has been one of the best trips I've ever been on. I definitely suggest if you want to get out, you want to travel, try doing exactly what I'm doing now. Drive these cities, make some money, and experience it. So I'm on my West Coast Challenge, and this is part 2 of my San Diego series, where we're going to be spending the money we made yesterday experiencing the city. First off, we had to get some avocado toast. It's kind of something you have to do when you're in California, but I'm glad I did because it was a great way to start the morning. After that, we had to get some fish tacos, so we went to Oscar's. It was another one of those eat in your car situations, but it was fine. The food was great. The sauce that you put on top of them, amazing. Now, I don't know if any of you guys watch Mark Wien's videos on YouTube, but one of the places he went to was 9 C's, and he got this crazy tostada. It was so good. Also, shout out to Lydia for making some bomb coffee, and also shout out to Shades. I was looking for some sunglasses. I really needed some, and they hooked me up. But yeah, after that, we just relaxed at the beach, and that pretty much concluded the whole entire tour. Thank you guys for coming along. It's been great. I can't wait to show you what I got planned next.